Let's get clear on what's in our hair products. Okay, so a little bit of change of scenery. We are hosting this weekend and downstairs has already been cleaned. So I am in my office. So this is going to be a follow-up video. So if I did not make this clear or if I did not state this in the previous video, I hope that Monique, Mielle, and P&G can get it together. But I want to make sure that as consumers, and this goes for me as well, we'll get into that a little bit later on in this video, but I want to make sure that as consumers, we educate ourselves and we are aware what is actually in our hair care products. At this point, there has been a pattern established. We are very well aware that when certain hair care companies are bought out, things begin to change, okay? I see all of y'all's comments and I thank you so much for the support. The channel and the community are growing. It's just that once it gets to like the 100th comment, I'm not able to respond to all of them, but there is one in particular that I do want to focus on. So thank you to JT Miami. This was the inspiration for this video. So this is how I want this video to go. We're going to read the comment. We're going to discuss what the ingredient is. Then we are literally going to go through a certain collection from Mielle to see if this ingredient is indeed in it. And then I'm going to give my thoughts. The last thing is that I received some comments about hair growing back. I received some comments about sabotage, and I received some comments about pile-on culture. The video that I did about Mielle was not to disrespect, demean, or besmudge anyone. I am always going to champion a woman who has started her own hair care products. But as I said in the beginning of this video, it is important as consumers to make sure that we are aware of what is actually in the products that we are choosing to buy and that we are using. The reason why I'm saying that is because this video is going to be about Mielle again, and based off of my comments, it seems to be that the Rosemary Mint Collection is the one that people are having the most issues with. Okay, so now let's go ahead and read the comment. I'm so glad you pulled up Tamara's video. I saw her video when she first uploaded it years ago, and you can see in the video how the product caused her hair to mat up while she was shampooing it. When I saw the video, I looked at the ingredients and I noticed that the entire line that she used, the one in the green bottle, is mainly focused on strength with little hydration. I want you to remember that. One ingredient that is in those products is henna. Henna, protein, biotin, all of the ingredients are focused on making your hair strong and can make your hair harder to receive and retain moisture. If you're using a shampoo that is focused on strength, there is no need to use a conditioner that is focused on strength. The conditioner in that line main goal is strength, not hydration. And this is why her hair matted up while she was washing her hair. It was too much strength and not enough moisture. I truly believe that is both a user error and a manufacturer error. It's user error for not understanding how the ingredients work or not looking at the ingredients. It's a manufacturer error because a large hair care company should have known better to have strong strength ingredients in a shampoo and not design the conditioner to focus on hydration. We have to remember that hair needs balance. This hair care line, the one in the green bottle, is missing balance. Just look at the hair serum. It has henna in it and other hair strengthening ingredients. If you already have healthy hair, you don't need to use that product every day. Every once in a while or once a week would be best. The more you use the serum or any product that adds strength to your hair will make it harder for the hair to receive moisture, which will then cause the hair to break. People need to take the time to read the ingredients, which act as a nutrition fact label, and the manufacturer needs to take the time to educate consumers on the ingredients or at least how to use the product. If Tamara would have known how strong the hair care line is, I doubt she would have used it. Her hair was not damaged, she just wanted to use it to maintain the health of her hair. With one wash and condition, the damage was done. If I was her, I would have washed my hair with a hydrating shampoo, mixed the strengthening conditioner with a hydrating conditioner, and followed up with a hydrating hair mask. That is balance, and that is how the hair care line should have been designed. People are using these products not knowing that they need to follow up with extra hydration because they're expecting the line to do it for them. Please, people, take the time to understand ingredients, what they are, and how they are being used, because these manufacturers are not going to do it for you. And why Mielle don't have on the front of their bottle some of the products has henna is beyond me. Us henna girls know how strong henna can be if you use it incorrectly. I myself only use henna when I wash my hair. Putting henna in hair oil that is expected to be used every day is asking for hair breakage. Okay, so now that we have read the comment, I want to make this very clear. If you watched my previous video, I will link it down below. There was a young woman by the name of Tamara, and she used the Rosemary Mint Collection, and she did not have the greatest of results. I will link her channel down as well. The point of this video is not to blame Tamara. It is not to blame anyone who has had any issues. The point of this video is just so that we can educate ourselves, and we need to be vigilant about reading ingredients, okay? So I want to be clear. She gave the example of Tamara. I know exactly what she's talking about, but I am not blaming Tamara. This video is not about blame, okay? So now that we have established what ingredient she is talking about, she is referring to henna. A lot of people know henna for hair care. A lot of people also know henna when it comes to the Indian designs. They do it for their weddings. They put it on their feet. They put it on their hands. Absolutely beautiful designs. I myself, whenever we go to the beach, I do get a henna design, and I also have used henna in my hair. This is going to be basic knowledge. This is going to be a synopsis of what henna is, because I don't want this video to be very long. But we do need to focus on this ingredient, okay? So, what is henna? Henna is a reddish brown dye that comes from the leaves of the henna plant. Women use it naturally to dye their hair. Henna strengthens your hair. Henna makes your hair stronger, okay? If you do not take anything else away from this video, I want you to understand and know that people use henna, yes, to dye their hair, but they also use it to strengthen their hair, okay? Remember that for this entire video. Put a pin in that. Henna coats the hair and fills the gap or on weaker sections of the hair strands. Some naturals have reported a looser curl pattern, and that is using it over time. It is protein sensitive, or you can have protein sensitivities to it. Henna is considered a protein, or it does have protein properties. Now, women who use henna use it in conjunction with products to combat dry hair, meaning that whenever they use henna, they follow it up with some type of moisturizing or nourishing ingredient and or product. When I was using henna myself, I used to use it in conjunction with aloe. I used to put aloe powder in my actual henna powder mixture, and then once I rinsed the henna out, I would follow up with some type of moisturizing product, okay? Henna can be very drying to the hair. It can strengthen your hair, but it does not focus on hydration. Typically, you will follow up with some type of moisturizing product. It can be a leave-in or whatever you use to moisturize your hair. Now, hair type. If you do not use henna according to hair type, texture, or your needs, that is where you can begin to see your hair become very dry. Even though it is strengthening, it does not focus on moisture. And that is when you will begin to see breakage. So this comes into play if your hair is already compromised or if it is delicate. Meaning if your hair is already damaged, meaning if it is already dry, meaning if it is already brittle. Someone who is aware of henna or someone who uses henna professionally would probably suggest to you to use a henna gloss. Once your hair is strengthened, or once your hair gets to a state where it's going to be able to withstand the full strength of actual henna itself, they're probably going to say to you to use a henna gloss. It's going to be the same thing if you are protein sensitive or if your hair does not need or cannot handle a lot of protein. They're going to suggest to you that you should also use a henna gloss. Okay, so now that we are aware of a basic knowledge of what henna is, let us go through the Mielle Rosemary Mint Collection. We're going to go through each one and we are going to see if henna is actually in the ingredients, okay? So I'm going to put it up here and I'm going to be looking on my phone. So let's go ahead and go down and let's go to the ingredients. Okay, so going through the ingredients just really quickly, I do not see henna. So we have established, or we know based off of what is on the website, that there is no henna in the rosemary oil. So let's go ahead and move on to the shampoo. Now, I do want to point out while this is pulling up is that it says Rosemary Mint Strengthening Shampoo. So I'm going to say that there is henna in there, but let's be sure. So let's look at the ingredients. Okay, so I have found henna and I'm going to circle it. So we know that in the rosemary shampoo, there is henna. Okay, now let's move on to the conditioner, and the conditioner also says strengthening. Okay, so after looking at the ingredients really quickly, we see that there is no henna in the conditioner. And you see me typing, I'm just, because we're gonna review the list. Let's go to the rosemary mint leave-in. That also says strengthening. Let's look at the ingredients. Okay, so the leave-in does not have henna. Okay, now let's look at the edge gel. Okay, so I see right there that the edge gel does have henna in it, or it has henna extract. The rosemary mint styling daily cream. Okay, so we see that the styling cream does have henna in it. Let's move on. The rosemary mint pomade oil and scalp hair quencher. Okay, so the styling quencher does not have henna in it. Let's move on. We have the strengthening hair mask. Let's click on that. Because it is a hair mask, I'm going to assume, but let's be sure. Okay, so it does have the henna extract in it, so that is a yes. And then lastly, let's look at the sugar scalp scrub. Okay, so we see that the sugar scalp scrub does not have henna in it. So I also want to say that it's not all of the products within this collection, but that is a majority of them. So if we go down the list, from the list that we have, and these are the ingredients again from the website, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's about 4. It's about half, okay? So really quickly from my experience from the last video, I just want to go over the products that I use when it comes to the Rosemary Mint collection. I used the shampoo, I use the conditioner, and then I use the daily styling cream, okay? So put a pin in that and we'll go ahead and go through. And then also once the rosemary oil went viral, I tried that as well. And just like I said in the other video, this is not really a knock to Mielle because I have found that, or I am convinced that I am allergic to sweet almond oil. I tried the original version and I also tried the light version. They both tore my scalp up. Okay, so my thoughts. Now that we have gone through the collection, we see that there are at least 4 products within the collection that actually contain henna or henna extract. More so or more concerning for me personally is the shampoo, the styling cream, and the edge control. This now makes sense to me as to why a lot of women might be experiencing hair loss. Remember that pin? Let's go ahead and pull it out. As we learned earlier, henna is strengthening, and if you do not follow it up, there may be some hair loss. Your hair may begin to fall out because it is so strong and there is no moisture, right? So I think the issues that women are having, I think it is making sense now that we know that henna is actually in the products. In my opinion, this actual collection should have been named Rosemary and Henna, and then you can add the mint. And the reason why I'm saying that is because for the average woman, they probably know what henna is, but if they have never used it or if they have never looked it up, they may not actually realize or know how strengthening henna is. At least from the business side or from a marketing perspective, if you would have at least put rosemary and henna as the name of the collection, it may have actually piqued the interest of some people. They may have turned the bottle over and started looking, or they may have even did a little bit of research when it comes to henna. Because henna is so strengthening and you're going to be putting that in a lot of the products, specifically the shampoo and the daily styling cream, I personally think it should have been named Rosemary and Henna. I also think that when it comes to them debuting the collection, I think this could have been a wonderful marketing thing. I think it could have been a teachable moment. Probably, or I think what I would have done was maybe when I debuted the collection, I would have made sure to give some type of like direction, some type of asterisk, or some type of just like educational video. I think even when it comes to the directions, I think I would have had an asterisk and actually talked about how strengthening henna can be. And I think I also would have talked about you need to follow it up with some type of hydration, okay? As I said, I don't think a lot of people I won't say are familiar with henna, but I don't think they realize how strengthening it can be to the hair, and that you have to follow it up with some type of moisturizing product. And the reason why I'm bringing it up specifically when it comes to the shampoo, just like we heard JT Miami talk about, if you are going to use a strengthening shampoo, you either want to follow it up, you can still use the strengthening conditioner, but you're going to want to follow it up with some type of nourishing or moisturizing conditioner or leave-in. It's the exact same thing with the daily styling cream. And for me personally, I think that's going to be the most concerning. I know that when I was using the collection, I was using that daily styling cream as a daily styler, and I was using anywhere from one to two times per week. If someone is not aware of, again, how strengthening henna can be, they may just be using the daily styling cream and not following it up with a different product. Now, you will hear some people talk about a styling product is not necessarily a moisturizing product, and that is true for some collections and for some lines. But again, if you are not familiar with how drying, even though it is strengthening, how drying henna can be, and you are using that styling cream anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week and not following it up with some type of nourishing product, that might be the reason why your hair is drying out. That might be the reason why you begin to see some of your hair falling out. I think this could have been a great collection, but I think a little bit more education when it comes from the company, since they chose to put it in their product. I think it wouldn't have to be anything complex. They could have just simply did a video or a reel and said, hey, this is our new rosemary and henna line. I do want to point out a couple of things. Since we are using henna in this collection, I just want to remind you, I just want to let you know that henna is strengthening, but it can be drying. So I would suggest to you to follow it up with your favorite moisturizing product. I think something as simple as that can also build trust with a company. If we refer back to JT's comment, she talks about the companies are not going to do it for you. And I do think that that is true, but I do think that if P&G, Mielle, and Monique want to gain the trust back from their consumers, I think moving forward, they are going to have to find a way, especially when they are debuting new collections, to make sure that they are educating their customers. As I've said before, if I didn't make it clear, I think when it comes to Black hair care companies, I don't think we have an issue, or I know that we always want to patronize and we do want to support, but it should not come at the expense of the health of our hair. The last thing that I do want to touch on in this section is compromised hair. There was another young lady in the group or in the comment section that talked about what she recognized with a lot of the women who were losing their hair is that they already had compromised or delicate hair, meaning that their hair was already compromised or it was in a delicate state. They chose to use the Rosemary collection because that's what we're focusing on. And while it did, or it could have strengthened their hair, because they may not have been aware of how strengthening it was, but that it could dry out their hair, they were seeing more issues, okay? So what can we do to combat this? Let's just tie all of this in together. What can we do to combat this? What can we do to educate ourselves? When your favorite hair care company debuts a new collection, by all means, try it, love it. But when you walk into Target, when you walk into CVS, when you walk into Walmart, before you buy it, before you go check out and buy it, turn the collection over or turn that bottle over and read the ingredients. If you are not able to pronounce, or if you're not able to, or if you do not know what that product is, I think it would behoove you to take a snapshot, go home and look up the ingredients. We need to begin to educate ourselves, okay? And then the second is just make sure that we are using the products the proper way. And I spoke about this in the previous video. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, when we are using these products, make sure that we are reading the directions, okay? We want to make sure that we are aware of the ingredients, and we want to make sure that we are using these ingredients or these products properly, okay? So, as I have always said before, I really love my community because we can disagree, but make sure we do it respectfully in the comments. I just want to remind you here on YouTube, I do upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and of course right here or right here, I'll put my Instagram handle. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Bye. We always have it coming.